Welcome back to Good Day. There is a fantastic genealogy workshop that happens every single year about this time, and it's come back up again. So pay attention, because we'll show you exactly how you can use these tools to trace your own family genealogy. We've got Michael Willis with us this morning, a genealogist, also author. Michael, you've been able to use the African American Genealogy Seminar to trace your own family roots and then write a book.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I've been able to use the seminar. You know, the seminar I've been to, I'd say in the 19 years that they've been doing it, I have been there, I think 13 of those years.
Okay.
And out of those 13 years, I've presented at 11 of them, and that's because even in the first two that I ever attended as a student,
Yeah.
I have learned a wealth of information. They really trained me, and so I was able to use those tools to help me do my research over the last 22 years. For my
Now,
book.
can I borrow your book?
Sure.
Because this is the book that you wrote, and it's a healthy book. You actually, what I think is interesting about this is you're not, I mean, you're a genealogist, but it's not like you came into this like, I've got all this experience, so I'm gonna become this amazing genealogist and author. As you mentioned, you learned the tools from going to the seminar, so
Yes.
no one has to come into this with a lot of experience.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, absolutely. As a matter of fact, we start out with having an intro to genealogy, intro to African American genealogy, and then from there we move into more intermediate classes, like one on how to research your ancestors through property records property records that came from the slave owning families.
Yeah.
So we take it step by step. I mean, we have a DNA class, we have a book, we have a class on how to write your first book, which is one of the primary classes that I benefited from that got me to this point.
Okay, so let's talk about your family, and we're going to go in descending order. So we're going to start off with the daughters, or really the granddaughters of where you were able to start from some records.
Sure.
You mentioned some of the records of owners. You've been able to use the Freedmen's Bureau for some of that information.
Yes.
So I want to take a look at these first two pictures, Nancy and Fanny. Now, who are they in your family?
So this is Nancy Shields. Fanny Shields was my 3 times great grandmother. That's Fanny right there. The Nancy was her sister.
Okay.
Okay, and these are names, by the way, I started with information that I learned from my grandmother. She taught me how to memorize 7 generations of my maternal ancestry.
Oh my goodness, that is something else. Okay, so Fanny and Nancy, and then Nellie
was their mother.
Was their mother.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes, Nellie Shields Washington.
And do you learn to go in descending order when you find these records, or do you just kind of, there's a spot, you know a name, and then you just figure it out after
There's
that?
a whole methodology that we teach in the seminar about this, and it really starts with starting with yourself and working your way backwards.
Working your way backwards.
Right, through the document.
And I asked that question because you have this picture of Nellie. You don't have a picture of Mary.
Binky.
Binky.
Yes, Binky
right?
was her mother.
But you did have this record. And sometimes they're hard to read, but you can decipher.
Yes, so what this document is I found out that Binky was owned by the slave owner's wife. The oral history was that we were owned by the Shields family, but Shields was married to a woman who was a Witherspoon, and that is records from the Witherspoon and Bislin family trees.
Okay.
Bislin records, because what you find is that these slave owning families, they're connected. These associated families transfer property, buy, sell, and transfer in between families. So that's how I found her. And she's
incredible.
in that list.
Okay, so this is the kind of information that you are teaching people how to use and then be able to trace their own family histories. When is the workshop? How can people sign up?
So the workshop is it's this Saturday, March 8th, and starting at 8:30, from 8:30 to 1:30. People can register online at aafhs.com, which stands for African American Family History Seminar. So it's aafhs.com. They can go on the site and they can register, and I do believe that it is available up until 5 o'clock today. So for your viewers, you can log in today and register.
Okay, and again, it is a virtual seminar, so we're going to make it super easy.
Yes.
If you didn't catch the website, don't worry about it. We're linking it all to our website, gooddaysacramento.com, under show info and today's date. This is a wealth of knowledge that, as you guys have done my genealogy 15 years ago now.
Yes, ma'am.
The information that you get is remarkable. It is invaluable, and it really does help to paint a picture and fill in the gaps that you maybe have heard, but you just don't know until you actually see it in paper.
Absolutely, yes. And you know, for me, it compelled me to want to share that information.
Yes.
And that's really what this seminar is all
It's
about.
about
It's
sharing.
about sharing stories.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
we do. We just share our stories, and it inspires people, it motivates people.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I learned to sharpen my axe in this seminar, and I wanted to pay it forward, and you know, I get the opportunity to do that. So I feel very blessed.
Time to get sharp, friends. All right, all the details are on our website. We've got more Good Day coming up on the other side of this break.